Hey everybody, it's Dr. Lavell. I just want to talk to you today about some of the B vitamins. People often ask me, should I be on a B complex? They wonder if it's for energy, how that all works. Well, let's talk a little bit about the background with the B vitamins. Yes, they're essential. They're water-soluble vitamins. You are going to need them on a daily basis to get absorption. The problem we run into is with a lot of processed foods, and I don't know if you saw the newer research that came out, 70% of the standard American diet of Americans is ultra processed foods. So everybody's eating a lot of processed foods, junk foods, and what they're doing is they're taking denatured vitamins. So what they do is they strip out the natural occurring vitamins and minerals that are, say, for example, in wheat. And then they put in some synthetic B vitamins. A lot of these are not very bioactive. The problem is our bodies can't utilize them very well. Also, they're in very concentrated forms. So when we talk about B vitamins, think of it like a cake. If you have a cake you're making and you put in all the ingredients, you have the butter, you have the sugar, you have the flour, you have the eggs, you have all these multiple ingredients. Now you got a cake. If I were to give you just a pile of flour, what do you have? Well, you just have flour. You don't have a cake. And so that's the problem with a lot of these B vitamins is that it's the wrong thing. It's not complete. The other thing we run into is it's all about the ratios. So if we're baking this cake and it calls for 3 cups of flour to 1 cup of sugar, we can't go and add 300 cups of flour to 1 cup of sugar. That's not going to work. So you got to have that ratio maintained. So a lot of these synthetic B vitamins are really concentrated. That's why when we look at a label, people will think, if 100% of the RDA is good, then 10,000% of the RDA is fantastic. Well, that isn't necessarily the right thing to do. You want to maintain that ratio. So we want these B vitamins in balance. So one of the things I used to use whole food supplementation, as most of you know, and I like to use the standard process Cataplex B and Cataplex B2. Now, the way to think of them is one is kind of for the person that just needs standard B vitamins. That'd be Cataplex B. The other one would be looking at, they're kind of the wired and tired type person. They're the person that has adrenal issues. They're the person that maybe has some cardiovascular problems. That's where the B2 is going to be a little better, kind of your wired and tired person. And then there's a third B product that we use that I really like called Cataplex B Core. And the B Core is really critical for cardiovascular people. I've had numerous people with cardiovascular issues, particularly like people that have AFib and things like that. A lot of that is tied, the electrical wiring of that cardiovascular system, if you will, is tied to B vitamins. So that Cataplex B Core is just really incredible for that muscular contraction of the heart and just makes everything work better. So think of your case for B4 as somebody that's got some cardiovascular issues. So those are our three different main B vitamins. There's also a whole food folate that Standard Process makes, which is fantastic. That would be for somebody that's, expecting and those types of things. So most people know about folic acid. That's a synthetic form. It actually doesn't work. There's a lot of influencers are out there talking about how you actually need folate. That's the correct form. So we like this whole food folate. So all the products you're getting with Standard Process, Whole Foods, works really great. So I can't recommend enough. Try those if you have any sort of B needs. That's the way to go. Those synthetic ones you can use as in a pinch, short term. Like I usually tell people, you could do them for like a week or so, but otherwise your ratios are going to get all out of whack. So use those whole food Bs and you're going to see a much better outcome. So thanks for listening. Like and watch, and we'll see more.